The release of Pokemon Legends Arceus in 2022 changed the Pokemon landscape for the better in most people's eyes, but in my eyes, I didn't quite enjoy it as much as any of the other Pokemon games. Hello, my name is Splutter, and today I'm going to be telling you about my experience completing the Hisui PokéDex 100%. Legends Arceus was a really strange release for me, and it's totally fine if you want to say Arceus, but I'm going to go closer to the original pronunciation of Arceus, so Lord Arceus above, just skip over it. I like the concept of what it is, but I don't enjoy open worlds. And though this game is more sandboxy than open worlds, it still had that open world vibe. All of the Pokemon spawn in specific locations and they can't wander out of their little constraints, and it just doesn't feel like the world is alive. If you want to get a Lopunny, then you just go to the area that has Lopunny and you catch it. If it's not the one that you wanted, or you wanted a shiny one, you just leave the area, go back to the camp, fly to the place that you want. There's your Lopunny. You want another one? Just exit and do the same thing. It's always going to be in the same place, and that doesn't feel alive to me. It feels like it's artificial, it's not real, and it's not the type of Pokemon game that I want. And my favorite thing about Pokemon is battling with them, battling with the first ones that I catch. They're not disposable, they're my friends. But in Legends Arceus, you just catch as many as you can and use the one that has the best stats or the best thing that you want it for, and it doesn't feel as personal to me. It feels like it's taking everything that I love about Pokemon away. And that's not to say that it's a bad game, and I'm happy for everyone who can enjoy it, and I've definitely spent quite a few hours enjoying it myself, but it just wasn't the perfect Pokemon game for me. But what is the main goal in the Hisui region? In Hisui, you're presumably creating the world's first Pokédex, and to do that you need to see different Pokemon use different moves a set amount of times, some of them with ridiculous requirements, and some of them slightly easier, but it was something that I always wanted to complete 100%. Is it fun to complete the Pokédex? Not exactly, but at least it does give you slightly better shiny odds in the end. But I wanted to do it for the accomplishment of doing it. I didn't need anything more. So I went around and pretty much destroyed the Hisui wildlife in each of the different areas, and using my brain when I can by entering battles with multiple of the same Pokemon at once, or even just a mirror match where you can just use the same moves against each other, hopefully getting them to use the same move to raise the number that you're trying to get to complete that section of the dex. I wouldn't say that anything was particularly hard, it was more tedious than that. So once you figure out little tricks like battling a Magikarp, and then you can use your agile and strong moves against it for Calm Mind and different stat boosting moves, so it doesn't actually do damage and you can just stay in the battle for quite a long time before it starts to struggle. There's even a few alpha Pokemon that you might notice have a tendency to heal themselves on the map, so you can just go to them, keep on using your weaker moves, and then they'll heal themselves and keep the battle going for a little bit longer. It does save a little bit more time than just going up to every single Pokemon trying to backshot them so they don't run away, which is something that they can do in this game, which is really fun. Defeating them in one hit and then needing to go find a new one to do the same thing to, that bit gets a little bit tedious, but if you can stay in one single battle for a long period of time, it does make the time go a little bit quicker, and it does get to be a little bit more enjoyable, at least for me. One positive aspect was me actually enjoying Pokemon Legends Arceus a little bit more than I did in the past. I have done about 3 or 4 different playthroughs of the game to get multiple Enamorus in the past, and it still didn't click with me, but this time it did, just a little bit. The scenery in different biomes are admittedly quite gorgeous, and getting the chance to battle over and over and over again gave me a slight appreciation of the battle system as well. And not to mention the 15 or so shinies that I randomly found because of my boosted dex rolls with my perfected Pokemon in the Pokédex, it gave me something more to look forward to during the next part of the grind. And eventually, it was over. I did it. That final victory lap and walking back to the professor, and to get nothing in return, going back to the headquarters and talking to every important person that I could find, to get nothing. Somehow it still filled me with a little bit of pride. I completed possibly the very first Pokédex. Every single entry that could have been ticked off was ticked off. The only thing that I didn't do was the battle marks, which is a story for another day. But where do I go from here? Of course, there's still the daunting challenge of the Language Dex that I'm still working on as we speak, but at least next time I step foot in Hisui, I might have a little bit more of an appreciation for it, and I guess higher shiny odds as well. Was it worth doing this challenge? For me, yes. But for you, no. Please, stay far away. じゃあ、また来てね。